I mean, what was your rate of growth? I mean, what were some of what were some of the big things, I guess, that moved the needle for you? Just in terms of building the following, getting exposure, like what were just even just a few just simple practical things that might seem like nothing to you is going to be the world to somebody watching this.
Oh gosh. You know, in that aspect, I honestly have to say that it I owe a lot to Apex because
Yeah.
if it wasn't for this game, I actually never really thought about it to this moment, but I think honestly, if it wasn't for this game, we still might be. I mean, we're always grinding. Don't get me wrong, but it's still
Right.
we might not be where we are as a community now, as if we didn't have Apex. So thankfully, Apex came, and I decided to stick with it. And for
Mm-hmm.
whatever stupid reason, I chose a character who I was attracted to for all aspects, and the character is not the best character you could possibly use in the game, but I played him well, and I didn't even know this, but I guess there were a lot of other top content creators who knew of me because I played this shitty character and I played him well. And so I would go into their streams, or I would have buddies in the community who'd be like, "Hey, like this guy wants to play with you because he knows you're the Sweat Hound." That's what I was known back then. Because I play Bloodhound. If you
Yep.
don't know, I'm sure we all know. But
Yep.
if you didn't, I play Bloodhound. I guess I'm known as one of the top Bloodhounds. But so they were like, "Dude, you're the Sweat Hound. You're Dadtality. You're," and I'm like, "Wait, you know me?" And honestly, that's what I was like, holy fuck. And I'd say to Mom Tally, like, I'd mute the mic, I'd put the headset down, and I'd put it in, yo, they know me.
They really like me. They really like me.
Yeah, yes.
Oh,
So,
it's
and I
great.
shit you not, man. I
Yeah.
shit you not. I would do that so many times, and they're like, dude, you're so good. Like, how can you play such a shitty character? So,
Yeah. He became
um,
your boy too. And I think too,
yeah,
it's funny you describe it as like I got lucky with Apex. It's like, yeah, I mean, you still made a decision. You could have played, maybe more of the more popular characters or whatever
yeah,
it was, but again, it's like branding and how can you get exposure, right? How and it's always about how can you be different, right? How
yes,
can you be different in a way that still fits you? And I mean, I'm sure playing that guy, especially off the drop before he got like the range buff on
yeah,
the scan, I bet that was just like that probably took every level of just your gaming knowledge all the way back to skills gained in Goldeneye to figure out how to make him a viable character on that game, especially right off the drop. I remember him like, ugh,
yeah.
but you found a way. And actually, we've got a guest coming on in a couple of weeks that did a very similar thing. Um,
Ah,
but yeah, I mean, you found a way to carve out a niche, or at least carve out some sort of presence, right?
yes,
So we're playing Sweat Hound. Okay, so that's a good point, right? How can
yeah.
you be different just in your game? Actually, last week Delta had talked about he had played PUBG, but he had one of those like level 3 helmets, and he
Okay.
would stream like in the helmet. That was the thing that
Oh,
he did like within
hey.
his game. So it's again, it's not that somebody should leave here and be like, oh, I'm gonna go, master Bloodhound or master character. But what you should think about doing is like, this is way more about ways of thinking than it is just specifically what to do, right? It's the way that you should think about strategically. How are you going to build a presence? How are you going to be different, right? Because again,
Exactly.
as you said, when way back when you started, there's a ton of streamers and they're not
Tons.
getting any fewer, especially over here, because it is so easy to. It's still just as easy as when you started. Just hit the live button.
That's it. It's
You
that
know,
simple. Kind of elaborating a little bit more to go in with being a sweat hound, thankfully, and the networking process that I was able to establish with other top players in the community. It all kind of boils down because like when honestly I would play with partners back then, and it was a fucking honor to play with the partners because it's like holy shit, like I'm playing with partners, right?
yeah,
So on their good graces, they'd be, hey, go follow Dadtality, like he's super
right.
cool, like. And the thing is when these people would come here to stop by, and they would, the way that I stream is I'm me. You get 100% me.
Right.
I'm not an actor. I'm not here to win a fucking Oscar or any of that shit. You're gonna get what you see is what you get. We have every day is a good day, but there are some days where I'm kind of like, this fucking game sucks, but you power through it, right? But the whole overall aspect is
Right.
how you carry yourself, and people would come in and they'd be like, dude, you're cool as fuck. Like, you're so good at the game, but you're fucking cool as fuck. Where with Apex, there's a a god mentality where, and I mean god mentality where you get top players and they are assholes. They ego you to death and they're dicks, and like you want to go check out the stream because like, yo, this is one of the top players, and you're there and they're like, fuck this guy, and they're teabagging this guy left and right, and they're talking shit about them and the moms and their dads, um that's not how we operate. I am cool as hell. I will shit on you, but I will shake your hand afterwards and be like, dude,
Hmm.
GG's, good luck, man. We'll see you out there again. And it's just that mentality and how I like to carry myself, where it kind
Yeah.
of was like, yeah, this dude sweats, but he's not an asshole. He's actually cool to play with.
Yeah, and it also made you that much more valuable for, I mean, the partners are getting, I mean, they're getting something out of this too, right? And again, that's how business, that's how networking works, right? Like you're providing value, they're providing value back to you. And that kind of mentality of like just kind of keeping your cool, like, just being yourself, staying within yourself, that made you probably just a very, I guess, desirable person to play with, right? Like from their standpoint too,
Yeah.
because like I mean, their games are going better, right? Nobody
Yeah.
wants to watch Apex games that don't crack the top 10, not really, right?
Yeah.
They want to
Yeah.
watch like last game moments. There's a suspenseful, they're exciting, and if you can help people along, that's going to help, right?
Yeah.
But also, then the way that you are, they can also trust that they can have you there, right? And that you're not
Yes.
going to say something stupid, or
Exactly.
not be a,
Oh.
a poor reflection of their brand, right? Because there'd be nothing worse for somebody, and even and this is even for partners or streamers who have grown like a significant channel. There'd be nothing worse than referring people to somebody else and that person just be a doink,
Yeah.
right? And saying something dumb or misrepresenting you. um
Exactly.
yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense.